Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for all those who commented on the last video, on my first video on my first impressions about my QIDI Q2. This is just a quick update video after working with it for, let's say, about 3 weeks. You can hear I just started it up. I'm glad I caught that because that's the sound of it feeding the filament. It may sound louder than it is because it's really not that loud. You can see it goes to each roll, but it only does that on changes. And I wanted to make that very clear that when you are printing, if you're using one color, while it's using one color, you don't hear that noise. You hear that noise for a couple of minutes or less. I don't know, maybe I didn't time it, but it's not very long between changes as it pulls out one filament and inserts the other. I wanted to give a quick update on my impressions so far. These are a few of the things I'm working on. These are just like prototypes of things I work on for bikes with my logo and some emblems, some hood emblem ideas I'm trying out. Different things. I didn't want to show too many of them because there are others, but I'm trying to keep them a secret for when the next few months when I go back into my workshop, my garage workshop, and you really start to see videos of what I've produced for my Can-Am Riker, for my Naxion IAM Pro, and for my Iahora M1 PS Knight. The latter two being electrical or electric motorcycles, the first one being the Can-Am Riker gas motorcycle. But I wanted to give you some feedback because there's some things I think you should know. I haven't seen everyone speak about them. So right now, the filaments in there from a company I think called Jayo. It was one of the few places where I found good prices on matte PLA. Matte PETG. That was reasonably priced, and they have bulk prices. I think I bought about 5 or 10 rolls. They have different colors, and they print reasonably well. I'll show you in a minute something I printed out of the black. I'm not showing you yet because I want to do this in quickly, but in clarity so you understand. This red is from, let me get this right, from Matter Hackers Red Translucent. Prints pretty well, as you can see. The black is also Matter Hackers Black Translucent. And so is this, and this turned out really fantastic. This is I think the gray is a QIDI PLA, and I don't remember what I printed with the black. Actually, the black is this black, and the white is, I'm sorry, let me correct that. All 4 colors here. Now remember, the white, the red, the gray, and the black are the white, the red, the gray, and the black from here. This is my first test print, and this is where I want to tell you one of my pain points I had. So it was an 11-hour print because of this white here, which I eliminated in the next design because it didn't have the proper supports. It didn't come out well. But in my testing, it was an 11-hour print. I started at night, so I went to bed. When I got up next morning, it was still printing. Now, if you notice, it's damaged here. That damage is actually, it did not complete. So what happened was the QIDI, I didn't leave the poop box open. I have a QIDI poop box I printed that catches the poop that falls out in the back. And the poop, as you know, comes from when the printer clears or cleans its nozzle as it's changing filaments. It got jammed up. I was sitting right here, heard this strange noise, looked up, saw that it had paused. Looked in the back, saw that the container where it cleans itself down the back there was full with poop. Looked at the back, realized that the poop box had filled and had jammed the waste all the way back up to the extruder. It had knocked off the cleaning, the device that it rubs against to clean. Everything was out of whack. So I reached in there and I had to use a little tweezers and stuff. I got everything out and I managed to fit the piece back on. Everything was good. And then I hit resume printing. What apparently happened was in its jamming scenario, it lost where it was. So hypothetically, I'm not, because I'm saying, because I can't show exactly. Let's say this was here in the front, and it wasn't, but it was more in the middle. Once I restarted, the printer started printing filament in the ear over here. It could not get back to where it was. I suspect that is because when it jammed, it moved off its coordinates, so it had no reference point. But as a point of note, so I decided, I took out the poop box, I reprinted a new one with a different design that came out perfectly. It's still under design though, under development. And I let the poop fall on the floor. So this weekend I've got poop to sweep up at the back there. But then I said, well, what I need to do, this table has some space at the back, and I need to be able to let the poop discharge in large amounts, especially when I'm doing, this is just a small print, but it had to do so many changes because of how the colors, how I embedded the colors. There was a lot of poop. So if you look on the screen here, you see something that looks like a chute. You might not be able to recognize that, but basically, this is my poop box that hooks into the printer. This is the printer, hooks in the back of the chute like this. And this piece is not connected yet, but this is the piece I just printed. And so my design now is to hook this to the back. I will cut here out so that the poop will fall down, slide down this chute, and I will put a big basin on the floor behind this table, like a small plastic container, but maybe 12 inches by, I don't know, by 4 inches tall by 8 inches deep, which will catch a lot of poop. And so now the poop will come out, guided through here, come down, slide out, and go into the container. That means that I would only have to maybe look at changing it once a week, and because that would require moving the desk. But if I put the container, I can just reach under the bottom of this and slide it out, empty it, and put it back. The next thing I encountered was with the Matter Hacker translucent, this red. And with any PETG, what I found is if you finish printing and then you start again, if you start again with a different filament, or even the same filament, like the translucent, whatever the properties are, your first print, it will almost fail in the beginning. It seems like this stuff, when it reheats, sort of gets sticky and cloggy. I've had all successful prints after that by simply printing for let it start printing for 2-3 minutes. It will come out. Let's say it's doing a flat base. It will do it for a while. Then all of a sudden it will shoot a glob out. And that would kind of mess up. I stop it. I don't pause. I stop the print completely. Take that off the bed. Restart the same print. No problem. It got rid of whatever that chunkiness was, I'll call it. So that's something else I've observed that you should pay attention to. Otherwise, I have no complaints. I have to check with QIDI. It does have a filter in the back here. I have to check with QIDI to see how often I have to change the filter. I have not hooked up the exhaust hose yet, but it has a filter. And I tried to choose PLA that's low odor. I tried to stay out of here. This is my office studio / everything else I design and build and create. It's soundproof for the most part. It's heavily insulated. And I did find when printing certain things at PETG, if I close the door and make sure that, because sometimes I'll have the door open, ajar, because of it gets very warm in here. The heat pipes do run through the corner of this room, the return pipes to my furnace. But if I let it get really warm in here, PETG prints even better for some reason. Now the chamber is heated, so I can't tell you why. Maybe the environment being around it being warm too. But as all these things are PETG, and you see I've had a lot of success with it. I have not tried the ASA yet. I have some TPU I have not tried yet. I will come back in subsequent videos. But I wanted you guys to see, as I said, on this journey, and after maybe 3 weeks with it, I've had great success with PLA from QIDI. I didn't have the best success with, I think it was Overchewed or whatever that brand is. Um, I had that from the previous version of QIDI. My son was using it. He had mixed results with it on the QIDI Q1 Pro Max, I think it is. This is the Q2. The QIDI box works well. Haven't had any issues with it. I did hear that you can have issues if you're using cardboard spools. I don't remember where the link is, but I found these and I printed them. I did one in red and one in black for the simple reason that when I put it around a spool, I'll know which spool it is, but these can go around each edge of a cardboard spool and give it that hard edge that the QIDI box likes to print. I guess it's how it rolls on the rollers and how it feels. So that's my update so far. Oh, another important thing I think is great for QIDI. I have not used one bit of adhesive on this bed as yet. I have this high-end adhesive somewhere around here. And I have the glue sticks that came with it. I've not used it once. The only prints that have not stuck are the ones where that glob has come out and then I retry it and they stick. I'm trying to stay away as much as possible from using adhesive. My son uses a lot of adhesive on the Q1, so much so that I'll have to figure out how to really clean his plate. I do have an extra one I bought. I purchased for mine. I forgot this is. I think I got this from QIDI too. I'll just peel it here so you can see. So because I'm printing stuff that I'm designing and it's kind of important for me to keep going, I have extras. I did order 2 additional, either 1 or 2 QIDI 0.4 mm nozzles, because that's mostly what the size are going to be using. Oh, and one last thing. The silicone boot around the nozzle, on one of those PLA prints where it gooped up after changing filaments, it tore the boot. I threw it away recently. I think it's thrown away. But what I did do was I was able to go online at Amazon and get boxes. I've got 2 of these. They say QIDI Tech, so it is QIDI. And each one comes with 5 boots. And I thought it was important because I did have one point where I did do a second print and it messed up again. And I forgot to mention that. But the reason it messed up was I was waiting for the delivery of the silicone boots. And I was printing anyway, and in one of those instances where it gooped up, the filament got inside of the boot and then directly on the nozzle and was pushing the boot down, so the boot was touching the print. So all these are little things that you learn. The boot is very important. I know people say sometimes they're in the middle of something, the boot tears or whatever, they print without. Yes, you can. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy getting that filament, that PETG that had hardened off the nozzle. I didn't want to do it when it was hot. So I took the nozzle out, I cleaned it, and I got it clean eventually. I literally had to take a tweezers or pliers, and it snapped off, and the nozzle was back to normal. But I decided, you know what, let me get 2 spare nozzles. Eventually I'm going to get a 0.2 millimeter, maybe 2.6, because I do want to try different types of filaments that require a larger nozzle. So that's it for now. You'll see me again soon in another video if something eventful happens. But so far, after owning this for just short of a month, but doing a lot of prints on it every day, and when I say a lot, this is nothing. My son has an event coming up where he sells 3D prints, a kids event, and he needs large volumes. I've been running this printer nonstop, printing what he's going to be selling. I'm not showing it here because it's for his event. But trust me, this thing has been running, I want to say, 16 to 18 hours a day, every day since I got it. So far, so good. So please, continue to watch, continue to support. It goes a long way. Everything you see, I paid with my own money. If you manage to find this interesting and watch all the way through, then I get more value from YouTube. They send a couple of bucks, and I buy more stuff. Whether it be filaments I want to try. I was looking today at the stainless steel PETG, some metallics. There's some PLAs that have metal now that can give you that bronze look. There's a lot of things I want to try and show you. Not only how it prints, but my own designs and own ideas as I get more into it. I've been using Tinkercad. I'm not a big CAD guy, but I've managed to be able to learn enough of it and manipulate it so it meets the designs I need for now. I don't know what in the future, as I get more complicated designs, I might have to go with Auto Fusion or SolidWorks or something. But please like, subscribe, share. And like I said, if I'm not too boring to you, please watch through to the end. And I can, do more of what I do. And hopefully you can enjoy more of what I have to show. This is 247 Tech Talk. And I'm so grateful for every single one of you. Until the next time, 247 Tech Talk, out.